Yeah, we're good. Hey guys, what's up? This is Ryan. It's my partner Zach.
Hey, what's up?
Episode 3 of 3CG Radio is going down right now. We've had quite the week in news. Just in general. We've got a big event coming up on Friday, the Qualifiers III, and the Euros just concluded, and there were some shockers. And
yeah, that was fun to watch.
I had a lot of fun. I mean, there was definitely some moments that like
Mikey against that 400-pound guy,
Seth or whatever his name is. Holy crap, man.
I mean, he beat Muhammad Ali, so Mikey being able to get crushed by that guy and still maintain a guard. And then he even said like his body hurts so bad from him and Muhammad that during his division the next day he was just in so much pain, but he was able to
still win.
No, I watched that this weekend too. I watched that documentary on.
So did the New Guard.
Grappling.
The New Guard. I watched it as well.
That was really good, man. I was like, man, this guy's super dedicated to jiu-jitsu.
And he has the brain, like he has that mathematical, analytic brain, to where it's like, I don't know. I like the way he thinks.
Yeah, his thinking is. I liked his explanation. He's more of a math person and. Like the difference between a math person and a
creative writing type,
right? They can make up their own answer, while there's a specific answer when it comes to math and even jiu-jitsu, and it's kind of figuring out what the actual answer is to a position that somebody gives you. So I thought it was really cool.
Like you're more math oriented, right? Like you're more,
for sure.
And like me, I'm more of like
I write like dog shit. So.
And see, I'm more of like the creative writing type. So it's
I can do more like technical writing, but not when it comes to creative writing.
Have you seen my Facebook post? Beautiful writing. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's a matter of opinion.
No, but it was amazing. I mean, I think the biggest shocker for me was watching Felipe Andrew get knee barred by Gaudio.
Oh,
and then Felipe Andrew turns around and triangles Keenan.
Yeah,
in the gi.
What did he triangle or triangle armbar?
It was triangle armbar. Keenan went back to defend, and he caught the and what?
Yeah, he didn't actually triangle choke him though, right?
No, it was a triangle armbar. He finished it with the armbar, but Keenan hadn't been tapped in like 6+ years in the gi.
Yeah, I think. Even in anything,
like
I think Gordon was the last one to tap him in ADCC, right?
It was no gi. Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't been tapped in the gi as a
that
black
was
belt.
Nuts.
So, and you know what?
Everyone expected him to win that because Felipe Andrews is like relatively new. He just got his black belt.
No, but he's a monster, man. But he's one of those real streaky guys. Like he's either gonna kill everybody or he's gonna get knocked out quick. But he came out, he got knee barred by Gaudio. He turns around, triangles Keenan, and you know what the ramifications was at? We kind of got a little heat on it because I was like, hey. It's a tough day for American Jiu-Jitsu, but what you got to look at is people say Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like the fundamentals, the old school, the old stuff still works. And that's like Felipe's school. You got Keenan who's coming in with the new age with the lapels and all this new cutting edge stuff. And it showed you that foundational Jiu-Jitsu still works. Like
I mean, it's funny to say he's old school Jiu-Jitsu when he's like so young too. So it's interesting.
But yeah, I mean, I think more when I'm saying old school Jiu-Jitsu, I mean, he comes from more of a Brazilian, like fundamental, bow to the poster, type of,
Yeah, we got some camera issues, but it's fun.
You guys can't focus on my beautifulness.
Yeah, it's like trying to figure out what the fuck are we looking at.
Lightning quick speed from you.
It's probably the new background, but
no, but seeing that, like Keenan being so cutting edge, such new techniques, coining at American Jiu-Jitsu, saying this is my brand. I kind of had a good talk with Professor Draculino about it. He kind of gave me some history on Jiu-Jitsu. Japanese brought it over, Brazilians brought it over, and then the Brazilians brought it to the U.S. So we owe a lot to our Brazilian friends for bringing the sport from Brazil. Because without them, there's no Keenan Cornelius, who came up under, Lloyd Irvin and Andre Galvao and all those guys. Like that, his Jiu-Jitsu is not even there if it's not for our Brazilian friends. So I think, people get lost in this American versus Brazilian versus Japanese, and I think it's all Jiu-Jitsu, and it should all be loved and all respected.
Yeah, I think when he's more talking about American Jiu-Jitsu, he's not talking about it more style, more of like he's American. Like there's a lot more Americans that are doing Jiu-Jitsu now, right?
But no, I think it's more or less it comes in like Jake Shields is like the godfather of American Jiu-Jitsu, where he started blending the American wrestling in with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that's what Keenan was saying. He's like, hey, like my Jiu-Jitsu isn't just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's not judo based. Like mine is, you take wrestling, you take sambo, you take all these other techniques, and then you blend
Jeff
it in.
Glover was a kind of
innovator as well. Bill Cooper, all those guys. So I think that American Jiu-Jitsu is more or less a combination of American grappling arts, whereas you got your wrestling and you got stuff like that.
We should eventually just like, because you don't say Japanese judo, or you don't typically say Russian sambo. So maybe eventually it just is jiu-jitsu, right?
And well, Drac said that that's how it started in Brazil. He's like, they all called it jiu-jitsu. He goes, if I could call it Gracie Barra jiu-jitsu, he said he would. He said Americans coined it Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
It's
in
kind of
Tijuana, they don't call it Mexican food. They call it food.
yeah, so it's like Drac was right. I mean, he gave me some good history on it and everything. And look, when we're going out there and we're talking and we're trying to hype up matches or we're trying to talk, it's just to get people talking. Or sorry, when I am, Zach is usually the one saying, "Hey, Ryan, good job." No, I'm just
Ryan's telling me all the drama, and I'm like, oh, that's all happening? I have no idea.
It's not even like it's drama. Like if you're out in the jiu-jitsu sphere, the Instagram sphere, other Reddit sphere, I mean, you're gonna ruffle some feathers. And if you're not ruffling feathers, then you're probably doing something wrong. If everybody likes you, I don't think you're. I don't know. I think you're doing something wrong. But yeah, the Euros was crazy. We had some really good performances by like Felipe Andrew.
Well, what about the females too with
Fiona Davies?
Fiona Davies.
Oh my God, man.
I mean,
she's an animal.
And she just destroyed the open class.
Jessica Flowers, man, like world champ, super heavy.
So much, yeah.
60 pounds she gave up.
60 pounds. And she did a great job. So
she took the back, like that's what you do with big people. You take their back and you choke them. I mean, she did exactly, what she was supposed to do.
Yeah,
I thought it was phenomenal. Like seeing her.
I'm surprised she's bounced back from her knee injury from ADCC so fast.
Well, as people know, like she was supposed to compete for us at 3CG 3.
Yeah,
against
we talked
Toledo.
to her that weekend too. She was excited about it.
At ADCC, and then she got, after she beat Bia Mesquita, Bia Basilio came in and was like,
God,
I got
that
something for you.
That arm bar was. I mean, it wasn't her fault. She wouldn't tap.
We were sitting right there, and me and you were both stood up, and we were like...
Everybody was like, oh, my God. Like, that's so nasty.
But, dude, the ladies always bring in... And, speaking of...
But there was a guy... Remember there was this guy sitting in front of us that was like, yeah, that's what she deserves for getting that. We were like, are you kidding me? Like, you're going to say she deserves...
He's like,
she deserves to get her knee popped out because the other girl, a different girl, didn't tap.
Yeah, I didn't like that. He follows us on social media and he likes to bring up, hey, remember you guys? I sat in front of you at ADC. Steve Marcelo Ars is his name. He's a super.
Wait, we're not going to call people out.
No, sorry, that's an anagram. It's not his real name. I'm just kidding. No, but it's super cool guy, man. But yeah, I mean, he had a difference of opinion. Maybe he didn't like the Welsh. I don't know what his deal was.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I love the Welsh. We got our own, our old English producer over here, so we got to shout out UK.
Yeah, we try not to talk about that.
La Migra is coming.
We keep it under wraps.
But no, it was a phenomenal tournament. It was everything you get. It really sets. Tommy Langaker looked like a fucking animal.
Yeah,
like he just can't. Ronaldo Jr. He tapped him, dude. Yeah. Like that was like Like I can't get enough of it. I can't wait to see him and Edwin at 3CG4. That's going to be amazing. But Tommy's on a different level. Yeah. A different level right now. But, I mean, that's all I got for news. You want to jump into the Qualifiers 3?
Yeah, so the event on Friday night, just so everybody knows, doors open at 7. But if you have a VIP table, we will let you in early at 6:30. And the actual event starts at 8 p.m. If you're not going to be at the event, check us out on YouTube. Please give us a subscribe. And we'll be streaming it live from YouTube, so check it out. Yeah,
I mean, the thing I'm excited that we've kind of branded with the qualifiers is to do the 2 brackets with our super fights in the middle. And they have gone really, it's kind of like EBI. EBI they would have the 2 brackets, and then they'd let Grace Gundrum run out there in the middle and fight somebody. And that's kind of like where I took inspiration from, because brackets are always fun. The drama of seeing somebody fight 3 times in a night to win a bracket. I mean, it's just that gutsiness, like near the end, that final is always something. But we kicked that off with Eric Wright versus our own Ricky Rivas, man. Like that, Ricky's coming off that big win over Kevin Cruz.
We are doing a third place match?
Oh, yeah, we're doing a third place.
That's not on here, though, right?
Yeah, it needs to be built into it. I mean, that's always been something that we do if time permits. If we're running late or whatever, then whatever.
Yeah, but I remember the first qualifiers we did, we had time to do it, and so we went up to Nate, and we're like, hey, you ready for again? And he was already thought he was done.
He's like eating a burger.
So, beforehand, we definitely needed to decide. We can't, leave him out there like, am I going to fight again? Am I not? Because that's like a mental drain.
I mean, third place match. Look, if the guy is in the finals and he loses in the finals, it should be first, second, and then the third place to whoever won that other match. So I don't know. We can just keep it how it is.
Well, because both of them lost to whoever's in the final.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Are you saying whoever wins the actual?
like the actual match to get to the finals? Like
Yeah, that's two people lost to get to that lost in the semifinals. So there's two people that
we could do it like IBJJF and just no, I'm just kidding.
they both
Please
get
don't
the
fucking
third
do
place
it.
medal.
Hey, come up here, guy. Nah, we'll get it.
Well,
get it sorted out.
so the way we do it for the qualifiers too, and we've done it this way, I think every time is we have a belt for the winners of the brackets, and then we have a medal for the super fights. So this time, and our tradition is to have a color, like the actual championship belt is the same color as the belt color of your bracket. So we
like
have
purple belt.
Yeah, so we have a purple and a brown belt.
You
this
got a
time.
brown belt?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's gonna be cool. But hey, kicking off the brown belts though, we've got Eric Wright versus Ricky Rivas. Eric's a tough brown belt, man. He's been kind of known around town. He's up in Conroe at Pressa. Really, really strong guy. Ricky, like I said, he just came off that big win against Kevin Cruz. Really getting his swag back. Thick Rick's coming with a vengeance. I think that match is going to be fireworks right off the bat.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one to start with.
And then, moving in.
And he may be joining us on the commentary team. He did a good job last time on the kids event. So if you didn't see the kids, check it out on YouTube. Give us a subscribe.
To get those subscriptions up. But no, I mean, Eric versus Ricky will be great. Ricky will be stepping in, though. So, I mean, we'll be firming up our commentary moving into March 14th. And Ricky, like Zach said, did a phenomenal job for us at the kids event, stepping in on short notice. So, moving in, we got Bradley Clifton. He was in our purple belt qualifiers, our first qualifiers that we ever did.
So was Austin.
And
so
Austin
both of these guys were in purple belt qualifiers. Now they're in the brown belt qualifiers. Austin,
he lost to William Tackett in the finals.
Yeah, in the finals. So he did. We know he's Gumby Jiu-Jitsu's great. Bradley had an awesome match too. He had a mohawk then, right?
Yeah.
So he lost his mohawk. So
he's all business.
He's all business now. Yeah.
No more mohawk.
No
we're
mohawk.
we're not screwing around here.
Yeah.
But Bradley's a cool dude. He's a veteran as well, Marine vet. So kudos to him for that. Next up after that is actually one more thing on Austin. Austin just won the Austin Open, weight and absolute. So
They named it after him, so
Yeah.
he might as well win.
took
right?
it down, baby. Took it down. But moving on, we got Andy Cordova versus Nick Schwein. It's a little, red on red violence, a little Gracie Baja mutiny.
Yeah, different states, so it's game on.
Exactly. Like if you have a girlfriend in high school and you go to a different zip code, it's okay to, talk to other women.
No, I think it's more like if your girlfriend, you break up with your girlfriend and she moves to a different state, can your friend that lives in that
No,
state
negative.
date her? That's what it's like, though.
No,
right?
but-
Because they're different states.
But if your friend dates your girl after you've already been there, like that's like going and laying in somebody's bed after they got up to go to work. Like
you're
it just
getting
it
that
doesn't-
sloppy, this
like I just don't think that's a good look. Like you know what? There's all these other women out there. Why are you going to fuck with mine?
well, I mean, you couldn't hold on to her.
So he thinks he can.
So
We're gonna fight over.
We'll
it.
see.
Third Coast Grappling 12.
So
Let's go.
Andy and Nick are fighting over a girl. They moved to Lake Charles. So that's the
work at
backstory. That's the backstory. We're creating fake backstories.
She works at the Golden Nugget. Andy's family actually works at LaBerge. It's kind of like a Lake
yeah.
Charles mafia thing. It's
So-
gonna be tough. They're gonna fight it out.
Yeah.
But Alex Lane versus Tiago. So Alex is a kind of a late arrival. He stepped in for one of our guys that pulled out. Alex is a monster, man. Like he's been around for a while. He's won basically everything. He's one of my favorites actually to win the
So
whole.
all these
bracket.
guys are Houston guys except for Nick, right?
And Nick and Tiago. Tiago's
Tiago's
from
from
Arizona.
Brazil. Oh yeah, he's from Brazil.
He trains under Professor
but
Flavio
he
Almeida.
lives.
Yeah.
He lives currently in Arizona. So
When he was I think he was a 4-stripe blue belt when he came in for world training a couple of years ago and trained with us. And man, he was a monster.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
he was
to
a purple belt then. So
Was he a purple belt? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I mean those are our first 4 preliminary matches for the qualifiers. Moving on, our first super fight is going to be 2 of our favorite big boys, Mr. Eric Cassiano versus Dean Paulino, who, as some of you guys may know, he's the Guam Atomic Bomb. He handles our walkouts.
Man, I hope they don't break the stage.
I don't know, man.
That
Dean,
first Dean match against the Mountain, I thought he was
Gainer?
about. Yeah, like Michael Gainer.
but
I
Dean,
thought,
man, he's lost like a whole person. He's looking good,
looking
looking
lean, mean,
Dean.
mean Dean.
So yeah, I mean it's going to be a great match. But Eric, they have some history. So me, Eric, and Dean were in the same gi round robin thing, the round robin thing at Grappling Industries that we did. Sorry guys, there's a cleaning lady outside of
Yeah,
our studio,
I don't think they can hear us.
and it's driving me crazy. But If you listened to the last episode and you told me to tell that effing lady to turn it down in the beginning,
That's who it was.
Same lady doing her shit again. But we'll get back to business. Eric Cassiano, Dean, and me were in a Grappling Industries kind of three-way, I think a few months ago, right?
Yeah, I actually went up against Eric too.
Did you?
In the no-gi. Yeah.
Did you win that one?
No, I didn't win.
Man, he's tough, man. Like,
We had like a wrestling match the entire time.
oh, it was on the feet, yeah.
Yeah, and I almost got a takedown, but we were out of bounds. And
Yeah, I remember, yeah. Yeah, Eric's tough, man. We went against him. I hit like probably my best submission of all time, my little fat boy free willy flying armbar. And, I did my man some cover. He's like, oh, so you didn't post
It was more of a falling armbar, but
it still worked. It was like a 4-second submission. I loved it. So, and Dean has been one of my main guys from day one, like since a white belt. He's coached me. We've traveled together. We've competed. Amazing guy, amazing friend. Both of these guys are going to bring it. It's going to be a great match. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
yeah. Eric, where's Eric train out of?
He's he just moved here. I think he used to train with Stipe Miocic and all those guys at Strong Style. I think up in Ohio, and he moved down here. Now he's just kind of floating around. He's in Corpus right now, working with those guys down there.
Nice.
But man, both guys are going to come ready. I think.
Cool. What about the women's bracket? What do
The
we got?
women's. This is one that kind of took a little bit of finagling for me to put together because you know what's more rare than a blue belt woman?
Purple belt.
Purple belt women.
All the purple belts.
Man, there is it gets drastically smaller of a pool of people to pull competitors from when you go to purple belt. So some of these ladies are from out of town. Lynn Chicha, she's coming from out of town. She's a beast. She's won a lot of high level tournaments versus Tiara Lewis. She's out of Oklahoma City. She trains up there where Lovato and all those guys are. And, they're both beasts. Tiara's coming down from like 185, so she's been cutting weight to get down to 160.
Oh, yeah.
So these girls are coming in, big and ready to go. It's gonna be action from the beginning.
Yeah, and
to
so
end.
it's just to clarify too, it's 160 and below, right?
160,
so, weigh-ins are the same day too, so all of them gotta weigh in beforehand. So might be tough for a few, maybe easy for some others. I know the next match, Alana, I know she's already on weight.
Alana is our good friend Jordan Holy's and recent sponsoree. I was we're gonna throw a patch on Jordan this year and let him represent for the Third Coast. And
Nice.
He's I sent him over the logos the other day, so we're gonna have our first athlete out there repping Third Coast. So we're
Nice.
excited. He's been with us since day one. Super loyal dude, super good guy. I was happy to see him getting his shine on the national stage. He deserves it.
Yeah, he's like the Texas leg locker, like
I like that.
representing Texas leg locking, I guess.
He's like the king of Texas, of leg locking in Texas. So
I can't even think of anybody that's better than him right now.
There's nobody.
I mean, besides the Tackets.
Yeah, but I don't even think leg lock wise, like they train together, So
Yeah.
like Jordan is basically shoring them up on leg lock,
Yeah.
So he's I don't think nobody wants to fight him. Like trying to find, I had to get Damien from up there and the Donaher Blue Basement, GSP's training partner, Gary Tonen's main training.
We had to get
he's a killer dude.
Pedro too, who outweighed him by like 40 pounds.
Yeah,
so.
after Pedro, we owed him a same weight guy at least. But he went in there against Pedro and tried to Lackland Giles, but no. Lackland denial. Next up is Gabrielle Villafuerte. She's another one that's coming in from out of town. And she's super tough.
That's a last name I'm gonna have to practice before.
Say it with me, Zach.
Villafuerte.
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 I
I still can't get that
Now
one.
let's
kid's
try
name.
Valeriano
Valeriano. I got it.
Elizondo.
Not even
All right, whatever. We're going to have to drill that one after class. So, and next up is our favorite blue belt, stepping up to purple belt, Cassidy Welch.
Cassidy's
Meeting
beast.
Melissa Lozano. Melissa Lozano is stepping in for Stephanie Trevino, who suffered an injury. And Melissa is tough, man. I looked her up, man. She's won Pan. She's won World.
Houston Grappling?
Yeah, she's a Team Took. She's a world champ.
Oh, nice.
Super tough. So that's going to be a great first match right there. Those two ladies are going to bring it. They're going to throw it down. And, Cassie's going to look to bounce back from her Austin Open deal this past weekend. Moving on, Elisa Sheik versus Amber Smallridge. A lot of people might know Amber. She's kind of IG famous with some of her IG profile. She's out there a lot of, she's always out there promoting. She kind of owns a gym kind of like Cassidy does.
Yeah.
So they're both kind of, fitness, real strong. And Amber won Blue Belt Nogi World.
Is she out of Austin or?
Amber? No, she's up, I think, in like Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
So that's
she's
another one
traveling
coming in, yeah.
Yeah, for her.
So we've got people flying themselves out to compete for us for a chance to be on the main card. That's
that's
huge,
awesome.
dude,
Yeah.
where we came from. So it's amazing. Alyssa Sheik is a local purple belt, really well known. She's she trains at Ground Dwellers. Super tough, man. Like I've been following her on Instagram. She's out there always getting it. She's won a lot of like big things. So we expect some big stuff out of the female and the male brackets.
Yeah,
your
those are
preliminary.
always fire. So check it out.
Another one next super fight.
Rematch.
Logan versus Jevin. The first one, Logan was like, you know what? I'm not just a no-gi guy. I'm going to throw the gi on. Me and you, Jevin, let's go. And Jevin came out on top. One of my favorite.
So is this one nogi?
Yeah, it's no-gi.
Oh, cool.
One of my favorite moments is when Jevin was fighting Logan the first time.
Yeah. And he goes like this. He like celebrated. Like they were like, I think they were repositioning. And he celebrated.
He tried to like get the crowd involved or something. And Drax like, save that shit for the end of the fucking match.
He's like, sorry.
And you just hear the whole crowd go silent. Yeah. It's like somebody getting scolded by their dad or something.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But Jevin's gonna bring it, man. Jevin, the Red Lizard, he's bouncing back. He had some, went through some trials and tribulations like we all do, and he's back on weight. He's looking good in training. I think him and Logan's gonna be potentially fight of the night. They're both gonna bring it. Logan wants that.
Exciting.
I mean, you just fought Logan at Grappling Industries and lost.
Yeah, same thing.
And you're super fucking tough. I mean, Logan's
Logan's good.
He's looking really good, so I'm excited for that. And then after that, we're going to have kind of our semifinals, so it'll be the winner of each match coming up, leading into our co-main event of the evening, Arion DeMello versus Nathan Stanton. That's going to be, I think Arion may have fought on every single one of our events so far.
Really? Yeah, not our kids.
Other than the kid, he would. I think Arion's savage enough. He'll slap a kid around. But, man, Arion is one of the top up-and-coming brown belts in the world. He just is not known yet.
Is he out? He's out of the Arizona gym that Tiago.
Yeah, so in that area under Flavio.
okay.
So he moved down here. Lucas is his cousin. Like they're actually distant cousins. Like they came from the same area in Brazil. I think he's like his third or fourth cousin or something. Brazil. You think like rednecks are weird about their cousins? Brazilians, they'll be like, "Oh, that's my cousin. It's like my uncle's mother's sister's brother's ex-fiance's son."
So he lives with me.
Exactly. So, oh yeah, come to America and live with me.
Yeah.
But no, Nathan Stanton is tough, man. He's done a lot of EBI kind of sub-only stuff, and he had a good showing at Nogi Worlds recently. But I believe he's a new brown belt, so him and Arion I think will be full on action. I fully, like I said on Facebook, expect every single one of these super fights to end by submission.
Nice.
I would not be surprised if they all do. So, moving in, one of our favorite female competitors, Julie McClellan. Shout out Julie and Colin. We got some bad news on that. So she's been hitting me up the past couple of days, and she might have the Houston coronavirus.
Oh no.
I had it.
You were patient zero.
I was patient zero.
I didn't have it. I think I got like, I felt like shit for a couple days, but I didn't get like what everybody else where they were like down for the count.
Like our friend Mo and Molly and everybody, they all
Our entire commentary team last event. So
my whole household got it except my daughter. I think she may be patient zero. She's been out there chilling, playing with her toys.
if she didn't get it, then she can give it to you.
But have you seen Resident Evil?
You guys are like always sick. Like every week.
I'm not always sick. They are sick.
Your house is like always. It's
No.
like a breeding ground.
When you have a 5-year-old kid going to kindergarten with a bunch of little dirty kids, ask Oliver.
Yeah.
Like when Sage goes, I mean, I know how good
you were sick for like 3 months in a row.
It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's what I'm saying. You guys are like always sick.
but you know what? I powered through it, and here we are. We are good to go.
You
But-
just gave it to everybody else by powering it through it.
But hey, I stayed off the mats for a whole week, and I haven't missed a week on the mats probably ever. Like I took a whole week. Like I've broken my hand, tore everything, and I've never taken just a whole week like that. Yeah. And I had to. Like being sick, you have to miss time because if you're coming in, you're just an asshole if you're getting everybody else sick.
Speaking of, next week I'm going to be in Orlando, so we might be doing this through a WebEx or Skype.
Whatever. Cool. We can do that. Julie will be facing Susana Morado if she can step through. I got some people on reserve to step in if she doesn't make it. But Susana also just won at the Austin Open. Her blue belt debut, she's won. She's an up-and-coming monster out of United. Expect big things from her. She's been hustling, doing really well, promoting.
Is she the one that fought Cassidy? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, she's been, she's been doing real well promoting the event, and she's been looking good on the IBJJF circuit. So I expect a good match for Julie if Julie can make it. And then closing it out, the qualifiers will be our main event. Cody, the Texas Zombie Owens. MMA, man. He's stepping up against Hector Silva, who's a 3CG alum. Hector always brings it, always action. Win or loss, he leaves his heart out on the mat. And that, that'll get you called back more oftentimes than not. I mean, even over somebody that might come in and bust off a boring win, I'll call old Hector back before.
Yeah. He's
just don't
collecting
get-
arms at 3CG events.
Just don't get tossed out of Scout Bar again, buddy. No, but it's been great, man. We've got a great couple of brackets, some great super fights. Tickets are still on sale. Tables are limited. I would say hop on it. Come enjoy Night of Grappling Friday night. some beers, some good matches.
Come on now, it's gonna be fun. Like just like every one of our events, if you've been to one of them, you know it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you're not going to have a bad time. So even if you don't train, bring your grandma, bring your sister, bring your brother. Everybody's having a good time at 3CG.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're going to get into the next segment. It's kind of been a staple of the podcast called Making the Match.
Before, or kind of the anti-making of the match.
Yeah, this is the
Can
match.
you tell me why? So whenever we had talked before, we were talking about who Pedro Mourinho was going to fight, and that didn't happen. Can you give us some background on that, or is it secret?
I don't want to put him out there, but we had Tyne and Dalpra lined
That's
up.
who we were going to announce this week.
But after Euros, I spoke with his professors Guy and Rafa Mendez. I got a lot of respect for those guys. Been a big Mendez brothers fans since I started jiu-jitsu. And when they say, "Hey, we're trying to let him get his credentials in the IBJJF circuit, we're trying to do that." I said, "Hey, cool." But also, my other side is nobody wants to fight Pedro. That's just, and IBJJF credentials
tough,
or not.
But that would have been an awesome match.
But we've got a really, really Connor DeAngelis out of Atos, main training partner of Josh Hinger.
Yeah, he
and
trains
Keenan.
out of the headquarters, right?
Yeah, he used to train, a big training partner of Keenan's, all those guys. I mean, he's one of the best brown belts in the world.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one too.
So he's stepping up.
But I didn't talk to you about it. I saw the release of the match, and I was like, wait a second.
I didn't want to talk about it. I was sad.
We'll get it someday.
Yeah, one day, I promise. But we're going to go into kind of the anti-making the match that almost, the match that wasn't. Rodolfo Vieira versus Gordon Ryan. Been a lot of speculation out about this or that, but what it comes down to is we signed that match under terms that we were going to go off, start our own platform, do a pay-per-view. And in that deal with Rodolfo, there were pay-per-view points for Rodolfo, pay-per-view points for Gordon, and it was a completely different deal, completely different structure. And, after we resolved our issues with Flow Grappling, our new deal with them dictated that certain things had to be met for us in order to, I'm not going to go into it, it's confidential, but, once we signed our new deal, we had to go in and move or renegotiate a lot of the matches. We had Verdum, Nikki Rod, we had Ana Vieira versus, versus the Olympic wrestler, Randy Miller.
Oh yeah.
No, we had a few matches that we had to move. We had it really broke my heart to do that because I hate canceling matches more than anything, and it just seems like in this game something always happens. Like the best laid plans don't always, turn out. But with that match, it was a tough one because the number that I shot to Rodolfo was reasonable. The money was very reasonable. But it was a little bit less than what he was going to be guaranteed initially to fight Gordon. And he was training in the gi. He was, he's getting ready for Spider. He was doing all that stuff. So I understand he doesn't want to take off the gi and fight the best no gi guy in the world unless financially it made sense. So, that was a tough one to swallow. I know a lot of people weren't happy, but I think one day that match will happen. But, behind it was nothing on Rodolfo's side. Super pro, super nice guy. It's just, the guy's been in the game a while. He knows the super fight game.
Yeah, it ended on good terms.
Yeah, it wasn't bad terms. And I've always tried to be fully transparent when stuff like this happens because I don't want.
So then we had Eberth, right?
Erberth, yeah. Like Erberth, Santos, what? When we do stuff with Third Coast, it's always a reason. Sometimes I'm impulsive and get myself in trouble, but a lot of the time it's calculated. Like it's kind of like jiu-jitsu. You're going to do this move because you're going to know this reaction, and then you're going to counter that reaction. So I knew by putting Erberth into the card, it would get people talking, it'd get the Brazilians excited. I think we got almost 1,000 new followers just off that matchup announcement alone. Like I knew when things started to seep through the cracks.
Well, and they were already kind of beefing,
jawing at each other.
Yeah.
But I had talked to Gordon like during the we were making. I was like, dude, we're gonna get somebody else lined up. Let's talk about something else. I have a feeling this isn't gonna work out. So Erber started hit thing, demanding first class tickets and demanding more money and demanding all this stuff and being a complete jerk about it, And so I got on Google Translate like I do when I got to talk to the Brazilians, and we went back and forth with Google Translate. And look, at the end of it,
some things don't translate right.
No, but at the end of it, he was super cool. He's like, look, no harm, no foul. He goes, you got some hype out of me being on your card. He understands how the game works. And he knew he was playing the game. He didn't want to fight Gordon. You saw him against Marigali at Spider. He basically just...
Which was the next weekend, right?
Yeah, and he basically gave up. So if Gordon started treating him like a small child, I guarantee something would have happened. He would have wanted out very quickly. So
yeah, and he was suspect. When Gordon was doing the BJJ Fanatics commentary, they were even like, maybe you might be fighting him. He's like... We'll see. And so,
But after that, I mean, Gordon was a complete pro throughout it all. You know, he was always communicating. We were always trying to come up with the next best thing. So you know what? The Bo Nickel thing came about.
yeah, that was he would toss that around too because he's looking for interesting fights. He doesn't want to just go out there, submit somebody in 2 seconds. He wants to.
And I don't want that as a promoter.
Right.
Like, I mean, I want you to submit. I want submissions, but I want it to be compelling. That's why we said the rules set the way we do it. But some people, it was boring. They game the rules. Gordon, but at the end of the day, it was if you were there and you watched the drama behind it, watching him scramble out, get back on his feet, watching the clock, and then time to time the takedown to where he could push it to a referee's decision up 2-2.
It doesn't matter. That event had so much hype around it because after
of that match, the
even
crossover.
But even after, there's so many highlights going around.
It reverberated.
It
through
lived
there.
up to the hype.
I think so, and even more so, like if you look at like the big like crossovers, like Conor and Mayweather. Like, look, people like Mayweather basically carried Conor that whole fight, you know, except for the uppercut, like you say, like he didn't want to take that.
Well, what was interesting about the Bo match was it was like Bo was learning jiu-jitsu
As it happened, yeah.
as it was happening against the highest level jiu-jitsu practitioner there is right now. So he was like, you could tell he was learning things, and he was not. I mean, he didn't get swept. You know, like
After he came up for
Buchecha
those
almost got swept by that.
Well, like Gordon would come up for those 2 points, but then like Bo started disengaging, and you saw the way he moves on the mats, the way he switches his hips and was able to get back to his feet.
If Bo, that showed me if Bo actually like dedicated 6 months.
He's going to be a killer in MMA, and his team was
he's
amazing.
He's gonna have to practice it going into MMA, but I mean, it's more of learning the submissions rather than body position and how to, you know what I mean?
Well, speaking of body position, you saw his because like Gordon was hitting that Connie Basami off the overhook, which like
which
you would
he
see,
recognized, so he wasn't giving him the
he
overhook
would basically
anymore.
put his arm like on the back of his tricep to where he couldn't move his arm back to,
Right.
and that's how he just stopped the Connie Basami.
But that's a wrestling move too, so he was aware of it.
Well, they say it's a wrestling move, like in folks, like in
It's illegal in basically every wrestling,
except like folk style or whatever
right?
it is.
But I mean, they know, you know, just like.
But when we're saying no reaping and no leg locks, and you're going out there doing the number one takedown that ends people's careers, it just was, you know, whatever. He played within the rules. That's why he's who he is. Gordon studies the rules. His whole John Donner's his fucking coach.
Yeah, we
Like,
had
what
like
expect?
a rules meeting for like an hour.
And we're sitting there, me and Zach, and so they asked her like Bo's team was like, so what constitutes stalling? And I'm like, so John, you want to take this one?
Well, and then John went on for 10 minutes. Like, I didn't know you could actually talk about the topic of stalling.
He gave like a
for 10
dissertation
minutes.
on stalling.
And their guys were like, okay, got it. And then one of my buddies knows Bo, and Bo was like, I still have no clue what stalling is. Like, I have no clue what that guy was talking about.
He said he was like more confused now than he was when he started.
He's like, that guy was like a college professor teaching me about like the intricacies of, you know, stalling in jiu-jitsu. And basically he could have just said it's subjective to the refs.
And that would have ended it.
But he said it in the smartest way possible, I think.
But it was a phenomenal match. A great card. Homolo Jake lived up to it. Edwin stepped up against that heavyweight and like did basically a flying darce. I mean, it was like, it was a beautiful card. It was amazing.
That guy was good. What was that guy's name?
Ben Linney. He was a world master champ.
He did a really good job.
We're definitely going to get him back. The guy, he stepped up short notice. We owe him one. We owe him one for sure.
He came in from he was at
Dallas.
but wasn't he in San Antonio Open like that week?
Yeah, the day before.
Yeah.
But man, it was incredible. I was super impressed with Ben, super impressed with that card, and super impressed with Gordon versus Bo. Great match. But Rodolfo versus Gordon, the match that wasn't, but the match that may be one day.
Who knows?
But shout out Rodolfo Vieira, his team, Anna, you know, all the people down at Fight Sports that prepped him. You know, we'll get that one back one day. We'll make it right. I promise.
Sweet.
So I guess coming up, 3CG news. So you want to? I guess I'll break it open. You know, we're kind of you know, we're a growing thing. We're evolving. We're a company that's still trying to find its way. You know, we're finding what format works.
We're trying to be innovative.
And yeah, I mean, we're definitely not trying to get pinned down to one thing or another. Like I say, I'm willing to make a deal if it makes sense and if it'll get people interested. I don't care. I'll put Gordon in there against my grandma if it'll sell. But 3C. You know, right now we're kind of looking at our schedule for the rest of the year, and coming up, we've got the qualifiers on Friday. March 14th, 3CG4, probably the biggest card of the year. I mean, in March until we do our June card, and then we'll do it big again.
We'll have to keep topping.
And then we'll go to LA in August. We'll do it big, and then we'll go to October. We'll go to New York City. that's just what we do. Like we set the standard and we exceed the standard every time out. So March 14th is after that. And then April 5th is our first big kids event. Kids 2 will be at Warehouse Live, 1,500 cap venue, big production. And it'll be strictly for the kids. We're going to probably do 30, 35 matches. And we're going to make this big something for the kids. And we're going to make it to where this is the preeminent, we're basically the only kid super fight organization.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out the highlights on our YouTube, check them out. Like,
Nava
it was
did amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
Check out Justin Nava, Nava Creative Services. He's our video guru. Amazing guy.
I mean, to the parents out there that, you know, want their kids to be on a highlight reel like that. Like
Showing their friends that and stuff. Like, can you imagine?
I bet they were showing their friends, like, check this out. Like,
Man, I wanted to show everybody, and I wasn't even in it.
I watched that video like 20 times.
It was amazing.
awesome.
It was great. The kids really brought it, and like I think that's going to be a big deal for us because we're going to just keep pushing it. We got our scholarship fund. We've got a lot of good things that are coming together for the kids, and we're going to keep rocking and rolling in 2020 with that. But after April 5th, we roll into May 2nd, which will be our new qualifiers format we're going to do.
Yeah, so we're going to combine the kids qualifiers and the adult qualifiers. So what we're going to do is similar to our kids event, which will be earlier in the day, and then our adult qualifiers will be at night. So it'll kind of be like a transition to where you can, stay for the kids and the adults, or you can, leave after the kids, and then if you want to just see the adults, you come at the adults. So
like your one general admission ticket will get you to both.
Yeah.
But if you're going to purchase a table, you can either purchase it for the kids side, the adult side, or for both. There'll be a price point for each of them.
You'll get a discount if you buy both, obviously.
So it's going to be great, and I think this will really boost. Will boost our qualifiers events and bring even more attention, and it'll make it even bigger. So
so kids that may be doing really good but don't really have a name yet to make it on
stage,
our main card, then this is the opportunity to show what you got, and show, can you bring a crowd? Can you be entertaining?
Are you easy to work with?
Yeah, exactly.
Like we want the whole
parents,
package.
more the parents than the.
So, hey, parents, take a Valium, take a shot. Just come nice. We just want nice parents. We're nice people. We don't want any problems. So, but after that, after April 5th or May 2nd, we roll into June, which will be our next 3CG5. June 12th will be the date, or June 13th is the date. And then the day after that will be our kids event. So we're going to be starting to pair our major kids events with our major 3CG events. So we'll have a major 3CG event on a Saturday, and we'll keep the venue through Sunday, and then we'll turn it over that day. Hopefully not too much drinky after 3CG. No, we'll be good. No, me neither. but we'll do the kids the next day, and then it's going to be phenomenal. Moving out of June, we head back into July. July's kind of it's going to be kind of a down as we prepare for August, which is looking like August 15th. I'm not going to give you too many details, but we got some really big stuff. Third Coast Grappling is coming to Los Angeles, and it's going to be the Third Coast versus the West Coast. So the format we're looking at, I'm not going to give too much beans away because people like to, they like to take others' ideas and pass it off as theirs. So we'll just keep this CIA for a little bit, and
just know we're coming.
Coming, West Coast, get ready. Get your patchouli and your flannel jackets ready. We're coming. But yeah, man. After that in August, we're looking in September for 3CG6, which will be September 12th, and September 13th will be Kids 3. So it's going to look great. October, I'm targeting for a New York City event, so I'm kind of starting to work for that. Third Coast versus the East Coast. So all you jabronis on the East Coast, you better go have your roast beef sandwiches, go get you some pasta, kiss your mother on the mouth, because we're coming from Texas to slap it.
All these stereotypes.
I'm just kidding. But don't hurt me. But no, we want to do.
What kind of sandwiches are they eating?
Meatball sandwiches. I don't know. Roast beef? We'll get the Italian BMT.
Your pizza. Get your.
You should probably go scout the area before we go.
Yeah.
But
Ryan's like, I've never been to New York, so I don't know.
I've been in the New York airport. They had a great Sbarro. But no.
Italian restaurant.
Yeah, but
Buffalo 2 was really good.
But October, we're going to do that. Moving into November, we'll probably have another qualifiers event. And in December will be the end of the year Bang Bang. That's our big one. So 3CG7, we will close out the year with 3CG7 here in Houston.
Yeah. I think I might miss one, though. My wife's due date is the day before the April event.
So as some of you might not know, Zachariah over here is going to be a daddy again.
Again. Yeah.
Again, number 2.
Still,
Dose.
but to another one.
to another kid. Yeah, I'll still be a dad.
So how does this one feel? Does it feel like a boy or feel like a girl? What do you think?
Well, they say like kids have, some intuition. They like know shit. And today, so typically when we'll ask Sage, he's 2.5. He'll say whatever you end on. So if you say, do you think it's a boy or girl? He'll say girl. Or if you say right after that, you say, do you think it's a girl or boy? He'll say boy. But today, Jackie asked him, and he didn't say anything. And then he came back later and said, it's a girl.
Oh,
So
man,
might be a girl.
That's amazing, man. I'm
see.
excited for you guys. Man, you know what? Like when I became a father to Aislinn, like I only been around like my nephews, like been around them since they're babies, help raise them, babysit. So going from like dealing with little boys to a girl, oh my God, like that was the learning curve on that for me was like, I'm used to wrestling around and roughhousing and doing all that. So she's a beast now, grappling, but
I'll be happy either way. If it's another boy, that'd be cool, brothers. And if it's a girl, I'll be super happy with that
Jackie's
too.
gonna make that little girl the best little girl on the planet. So you see it. She's been great with Sage from what I've seen.
Yeah,
she's
the
amazing.
best mom.
So, but yeah, I mean, after that, man, we've got a great year ahead of us, and we're gonna stay focused, and we're gonna keep hammering. We're not going nowhere, baby.
Keep innovating. Well, we got some tag team matches in there.
Oh, tag team is coming. We've got another co-ed tag team match. Stephen Baca, Mackenzie Mansoris versus David
Holding that title, coming out that title.
Outgelt, and Stephanie Kaka.
Did you have like a throat thing there when you?
Yeah, my throat kind of hurt. I got like a tickle in my. Excuse me, guys. I'm going through puberty on the air, so just give me a second.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, guys. I'm back. No, but yeah, that's it for news. So we're gonna go into a new segment. Some of you that know me know I like to rant. Know I like to.
Really grinds my gears.
I like to say what's on my mind. I like to be open because it's I think it's therapeutic to be able to kind of just.
Most likely, this segment will be edited out. So,
but if it's not, you should be. You're gonna enjoy it. So I'm gonna get into, the supercard arms race. Lately, there's been a lot of events that are coming out, and they're putting these, they're signing these big names, and they're putting these big cards on, and they're doing these big things. And I call it the 3CG influence. I like it. I like seeing these guys go out there, put big cards, put their money where their mouth is, and try and make grappling great again. Because you know what? We started that movement. We came out and said, you know what? The format that's out there, the model that's out there, what's going on, what's out in the industry is boring. And we want to come out and we want to change it. Now, it might be boring to us, but not to everybody else. But everybody's format has a place. Like Fight to Win, they pave the way. Those guys, I wouldn't say they're boring. They have they're sub only. They have a different mindset and rule set. But Fight to Win paved the way for events like Kasai or Metamoris, like paved the way for everybody. But they didn't pay anybody, so we don't even talk about them. But
paved the way, not paid the way.
Yeah, they didn't pay their way. They forgot to pay the way. That's why they're not around anymore.
Gordon said he got paid, but
yeah, but Gordon was like the only one that got paid. But moving around, there's a lot of good promotions out there that are trying to step up and do what they got to do. We started the game with using music venues and using all these different things because we wanted to create like a live music concert environment. We wanted to have a fucking party. We wanted to make it to where you come to a Third Coast Grappling show, you may never heard of jiu-jitsu. You probably thought that was like a Jewish banker in New York or something. But you come to our shows, you're a fan, no matter. It wasn't a great joke, but what, just roll with it.
I didn't say anything.
No, but hey, I love the Jewish people, so don't get it twisted. But no, with that, the people
do a lot of jiu-jitsu.
But a lot of the people that come in to our events, they leave every time. Man, that was amazing. I don't even know what this like Mike Tren. He had some people that came out from A-Leaf and like that area. Never heard of it. They're like, man, what's this jiu-jitsu? And they come out there and they're blown away. They're asking Mike, when's the next one? Like, that's what we're doing. And we realize that we can't convey our live experience as well over the broadcast because we're doing all of it. We're having to use our own money, our own budget to do our own production.
Yeah, not everybody can travel from California or New York to come to our event, right? So that's why we're looking to go out to other places and show what we have.
Put our money where our mouth is.
You're gonna get the best experience being there.
Yes. So I mean, these guys are starting these big arm races. So what we found out early on is you can book all the names. You can book number 1 versus number 3. You can book Keenan Cornelius versus Tex Johnson. It'll be cool. It'll be all that. But
wait, we did.
That's what I'm saying. Oh. But I'm saying those type of matches are the type of matches some of these guys like. They might have one big A side to the match, and then they come in and they bring in, maybe somebody a little underwhelming or maybe not as balanced. But it takes more than just money and putting names on a card to make it compelling and make it exciting. And I think that's one thing that we do that separates ourselves from the others. We're looking for storylines. I don't care what ranking you are. Like, we're looking for real storylines. Have they fought each other before? The styles, the Wagner Hocha versus Mike Perez match is a great experience. Like, we look at styles, we look at their history. I research everything. Like, I'm on BJJ Heroes, I'm on IBJJF.com. I'm looking for storylines. And I think it comes back full circle also to our rule set. Because I was speaking with, people today about our rule set. Like, we're over 80% submission rate on the year. People don't hit 80% submission rate on one show, much less a year.
Unless you're sub only, then it's 100%.
Yeah, but sub only. But even sub only, they have decisions like after nobody submits each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, sub only sometimes.
It's like technically sub only should be only submissions, but it ends up not.
I mean, it's sub only, no time limit like Tackett and Banta and Gordon and Gaudio. It's different, but even in sub only, if you don't get a submission, it's a judge's decision, or or it's a draw, nobody wins, or whatever. But with us, our rule set. The way we
submitting everybody.
Yeah. Our rule set, the way we approach matchmaking and the matches that we're putting together, we know the economics. So you can put all these big names on it, but you're also going to be broke in the same time unless you have some big money behind you. So kudos, keep throwing the big shows, keep pushing the envelope.
Yeah, we're just going to keep doing our thing too.
We're going to keep doing it too. There's plenty of pie for everybody.
I really thought your rant was going to be around advantages with the...
Don't get me fucking started. Don't get me started. All right, so we're going to go into advantages. Me and Zach have been kind of having a bit of a debate on this. I fucking hate them.
I totally agree. I think there should be I think there should be like an overtime rather than some kind of overtime rather than advantages. But my argument was
they don't even have third place matches, much less do an overtime.
You can't say that Mikey should have won by advantages and then in the same argument say there should be no advantages.
Well, see, I'm saying Mikey should have won by an advantage, but I'm saying that the misuse of advantages is what cost him against Muhammad. Because you know what? Muhammad got that one advantage for coming up early on.
Yeah, it should have been just Mikey should have won that match.
He went in there.
Not that he should have won by advantage.
Muhammad was hanging on. Muhammad was hanging on the whole time. And if it went to a decision, if they were tied advantages and it went to a decision, Mikey would have won that decision.
Yeah.
Because he was the aggressor. He was the one that was pushing the action.
Yeah, so the argument should just be there should be no advantages, not Mikey should have won by advantages, and there should be no advantages.
No, my issue is the way that they're officiated, because it's so subjective. There's no clear, defined rule that says this, and that. So, and then you got people that are coming out and they're training to win by advantage. So they're out there like, so how'd you win, man? Oh, I almost got a takedown. I'm a world champion.
But it's funny too because people got mad at Mikey for him winning by advantages against Zhao Miao when he first won his right?
Because you want to know why they get mad? It's not about the advantages. It's the way they're enforced, and it's the way that they're seen differently from referee to referee.
You'll even see Keenan. He'll go for a sweep, but not want to get the full sweep because he wants to stay in the guard. So he'll go for the sweep, but not get it, so he get the advantage while still playing his game in the guard, right? That's playing the game too.
But it's just the way that those, like, you'll see like the Miragali-Keenan match. 10 advantages for Miragali. Where was that fucking guy during Musameki and Muhammad Ali? Like, that guy was giving out advantages for just pulling somebody's big toe.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
he didn't give a fuck. Like, I just don't like that almost a takedown, almost a sweep, almost a submission is grounds enough for you to beat somebody else, especially at a world championship level. I don't think almost being able to execute a technique should be
maybe for IBJJF, like the finals, like in a finals match, it should be just straight points, and then there's some kind of 5-minute overtime, yeah, instead of the advantages use the advantages stuff for the semifinals, which even the Muhammad Ali Mikey fight was not the finals, so that would have still been
if we would have saw Mikey versus Keenan, if that's what I was mad at. I think I was a little bit mad that didn't happen. I think
Keenan would have got Baron Bolo'd by because he's so but even
anti-Bolo.
But to Keenan's defense, he said except for Mikey. Mm-hmm. So he said Baron Bolo doesn't work except for Mikey because he's a specialist in it.
Well, so is like Zhao Miao, Paulo Miao, all those guys.
Yeah, they were they.
Well, Samuel Braga actually is the originator.
Yeah, he's a Gracie Baja guy.
He's a Drac black belt too.
Yeah, so. But then you had people that did it, and then you had people that specialized in it.
Like Gianni Grippo is a great Bolo guy.
Yeah. I think what Keenan was saying, like if you're not a specialist in it, and you go up against some high level black belt, it's not going to work as effectively as if you just do it every once in a while. I think is more of it. He was trying to get headlines more than anything.
And that's what it is. I mean, but when it comes down to advantages, though, we don't have them at Third Coast Grappling. I think the advantage needs to be abolished, and I think that
Which sometimes, our refs, while they're great, they confuse our scorekeepers sometimes because they're so ingrained in the IBJJF that they'll motion for advantages, and our scorekeepers be like, I'm not scoring that. So
yeah. But end of the day, I think the rule sets are evolving. We kind of took a step out and really tried to change the game and do something different with our first to 11 or submission style rule set. I mean, there's more to it than that. The mat sizes, the stalling, the aggressive stalling penalties. I mean, it all comes into play with our rule set. But I just don't think that an advantage should be used to decide who's a world champion and who's not, or who's a European champion and who's not. Because going home and telling somebody you almost got a takedown, that's why you're the champion. It doesn't show who's.
Yeah, but you were also not able to get scored on too. So if you want to win, score the points.
But what is the purest form to show who the best grappler is? No time limit, submission only. Because whoever taps loses, and that shows who the better grappler is.
But when in tournaments, it's hard to.
Well, you can't do that. But I'm saying
it could go forever.
You could build a rule set around. Let's say that IBJJF goes to a point-based system where it's only points.
I like how IBJJF went to. They're actually paying champions now too, world champions.
Paying champions, yeah.
I mean, they were giving them something.
Well, they're giving them what we give our mid-card black belts. I mean,
but it is still paying. They've gotten to a point where they realize these guys are most of the world champions are professional athletes, and they need to get compensated for something.
Well, also what IBJJF is doing is they're paying people, but they're also drug testing people at the world level and stuff like that. So you're seeing a lot of these guys that, hey, whatever, it's a dirty business. Some people are on the Bomba and acai, and some people are all natural. I'm not calling names out, but when it comes down to world champions, when the world championship or where there's drug testing, just look at who's not there.
All you need is Jesus.
Jesus and juice. It's not kind of like gin and juice. Maybe we could do our own song, like Jesus juice instead of gin and juice, like Jesus and juice. I don't know.
I think that
we'll leave that to the pros.
Audience.
Yeah, we'll leave that to the pros, and go from there. But man, advantages. Not a fan.
Yeah, neither am I.
So that wasn't much of a rant, but I'm gonna ramp it up my rants as this thing goes on.
You're gonna bring the rant heat.
I am. I think I might get drunk before next time.
Know, it really
goes. I'm just kidding.
Rants Ryan's gears.
My gears are so ranted right now. No, but man,
Ryan, I get the most random texts from Ryan throughout the day, and it'd be like, "I want to do Ryan's rants and just rant." And I'm like, I don't even think I answer. I'm just like,
well, hey, because you know
what?
Whatever
you want, buddy.
This is what I do 24/7. From the time I wake up, I look at my phone. It's 3CG all day, every day, all night, every night. I'm grateful I get to do it for a living. My other partners are holding down the day jobs.
Ryan, you should
what I do.
You should do a daily journal, notes, and then we discuss it at the end of the day, and we can go through instead of me getting sporadic.
No, it's okay. You need. What was that noise, by the way?
That's what I get from you all day.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get after the podcast. No, but
Ryan's rants in my my DMs all day.
I have a very kind of unorthodox way of doing it because I'm communicating with so many people throughout the day. If you look at my messages, I'm usually 20, 30 conversations deep because I'm always trying to talk to people, always trying to find an angle, always trying to, we have 13 events this year, an event every month. I'm generally matchmaking for the next 2 events after when one's coming up. So I'm constantly in communication. So when I have an idea or something, it's easier than calling Zach. He's usually busy. I just shoot him a little, bloop, bloop, bloop. And if it's something serious, we call, we talk about it. But look, communication is key. And I think in the beginning of Third Coast, my communication skills could have used some work. I was a little like the angry boss on Office Space. I was actually I don't know. I was pretty angry back then, but things got better. I learned how to communicate. Spite motivation is key. Now let's talk about spite motivation. You know what spite motivation is, Zach?
Yes, I know.
When people tell you.
It's not healthy. I know that.
No, and that's why I've had to wean off it a little bit and have other motivation. But because when my spite motivation ran out, I would just be
the
left.
problem is if you're driven by spite motivation, you always have You always have to have somebody to spite, and then that means you're always looking out for an enemy.
Very much so.
And it needs to be internal motivation, like always making yourself better, making your company better.
It's like the higher self.
Right,
Always
because if you're only motivated by external factors, then you're always looking for external factors, and you're always looking for an enemy. Ryan's personality, by definition, is a protagonist, and I
Antagonist.
I always tell him is, what do protagonists need? They need an antagonist. So, there's not always.
I need a dance partner, baby. Just
There's
dance
not
with me.
always
Come
somebody
on.
you need to go fighting. I'm more of the architect, so I don't need somebody to fight all the time.
One thing that Zach's taught me throughout all this is that conflict is a tool.
Yeah,
That should be used.
absolutely.
That should be, and that's something that
leaders have to utilize conflict as a tool.
And so that's something that I've really taken out. Like, look, if you're trying, like, my whole life for at one point is I had no spine. I was easily walked all over. But now we're at a point in our business where we've literally had to fight people, organizations, just to get to where we're at today. And I would do it all over again if it got us where we're at again. Because you know what? This summer, I learned more about myself and our business and you and just everybody in terms of resiliency. When everybody counted us out, kicked us to the curb, left us for dead, we stood strong and we came out.
And now we have our own radio show.
Look,
who would have thought?
Now we're talking about it on our own radio show. No, but the last 6 months just were a crash course in what to do and what not to do in business. And I think we're geared up for a great 2020, and I'm excited. I couldn't be happier to do it with Oliver, with Zach, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with everybody.
Lisa Duke.
Yeah, Lisa Dew. Speaking of Lisa Dew, she's stepping up. 3CG4. The first.
She's gonna be fighting.
She's fighting Camila Lopez out of Revolution Dojo. Love Lisa. She's scrappy.
It's like she wants to do in-depth research to perfect her fighter relations. It's
a lab for her, basically.
Yeah, and she trains, I think,
more than all of us.
Yeah, she trains religiously. So
yeah, so she's an animal. But that's it for episode 3, guys. Sorry for the spike in the mic. We've got a great show, like I said, Friday night, Qualifiers 3, Door 7,
Come
Show
out.
8.
It's gonna be fun.
Cheap beer, 2 brackets, 5 super fights. You cannot, I promise you, this is going to be way better than whatever else you have planned for Friday night. So just make the jump, come hang out with us, and we will see.
And then you got your whole weekend ahead of you after that. So
which Saturday is the big Kasai event. So I'm looking forward to checking that out, the heavyweight tournament.
So see you Friday night, and if you're gonna watch it on YouTube, please subscribe and
leave a nasty comment too for Oliver not matching his jacket with his pants.
Yeah,
we need that.
I'm doing it out of spite this time.
we're gonna give him another mic with a cable so he can fight that.
And he's gonna wear actually a plaid jacket with pastel pants.
So depending on when you're listening to this, have a good morning, good night, and good afternoon. So
hallelujah.
Bye.